Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Motherhood Journey. I am Jamia Morrow Perkins, and I just want to first thank everybody who tuned in and viewed the first video. So I just want to kind of do a quick recap of the last video, and it was just basically talking about tips that I use in my everyday life to keep my struggle from not being real on a Monday, throughout my week, throughout my month. So part of it was organization. I am big on planning. I am big on writing stuff down. So I suggested that moms, we find a schedule. You know, life is hectic. When you find that schedule, plan it, write it down. It helps you to remember everything that you're doing. It helps you to kind of put some balance in your life. Number 2 I had was my meditation, prayer, my going to my God and really just praying and talking about what I need to have talked about and having him give me an answer. So I do meditation, I do prayer several times throughout the day to really help me keep making it through the day. I also talked about having self-care exercise. I play kickball. I know that's not for everybody, but you know, just going out and finding some type of exercise, whether it's walking, whether jogging, even if it's just taking a bath by yourself in peace and quiet. But you need something that is going to be a self-care exercise for you. So those were a couple of the tips that I suggested. I also talked about this channel, and I want to reiterate that again, that I want to make this motherhood journey as big as I can with as many people as I can. And what this journey is basically about is moms uniting, moms lifting each other up, moms networking and providing resources. I know, like I said in my last video, that when you have a child, you do not get an instruction manual. You basically are congratulated and sent home with this new life that you're like, okay, what do I do now? At least I know I was. So, you know, I wanted to create this channel where we as moms can provide resources to other moms, new moms, moms wanting to be moms, and the veteran moms. Like I said, I have a 13-year-old daughter, yes, and a 9-year-old son. So I struggle a lot with how to communicate with both of them and reaching both of them and listening and spending time with them and encouraging them and, you know, just being the best mom that I can be to both of them, because they both have different personalities. So that has been a challenge for me. So I seek advice all the time. So that's what this channel is created for, is for us to come together as mothers and really help each other out. You know, a lot of times I talk to my friends and people are ashamed of saying, oh, my child is acting out, so they don't want to talk about it because they feel that they did a bad job, or people will judge them, or whatever the case may be. I know it's happened to me. People feel, oh, I shouldn't do stuff this way, or I should do stuff this way, but I feel I'm doing the best job. And not to say we can't take advice, because God, I seek it out all the time. So my thing is, I want this channel to be that. I want it to be support. It's a non-judgmental page where mothers from all across the world that are going through whatever with their children can come, express themselves, and we all can provide some type of encouragement, some type of resource, some type of help to just help lift that strain and stress off that mother. I know I have been talking to a lot of my friends that have been just going through lately, and this is just that. This page was really meant to encourage, and so I hope you tune in. Please subscribe. Please push that red button and subscribe. Comment. I'll be doing these videos every Monday. I would like you to send me topics with questions you have. If you don't want to list your question or comment, my email is will be linked below, but you can send them to me and I'll address them. But I just want to make this an open forum for all mothers everywhere to just have a free space. I don't care if it's even to vent, because I know as a mom sometimes I be wanting to strangle my kids. And I just need an outlet. I need some place that I can go, that I can vent, that I can talk, and I can feel safe in that space. And that's what this channel was specifically created for. So, now that we've got that out of the way, I know last video we talked about how to maintain our sanity. So, I just wanted to give you a couple tips on helping your children maintain their sanity, which will ultimately help you keep your sanity. So, as I said about us, for children, we know they have all of this energy. They're like little balls of energy. I swear they beat the Energizer Bunny sometimes. At least my 9-year-old does. So I know to combat that, I look for activities, hobbies, and interests that my son loves. My son is a football kid. So yeah, I'm a football mom. Saturday mornings I hate. But I know that it's gonna fulfill him and ultimately give me peace, because he'll be tired and sleep after those practices and after that game. So finding your child some type of activity, whether it's basketball, swimming, soccer, chess, some activity that will hold that child's interest, because once they become involved in a sport, one, it creates structure. So it also gives them something to look forward to. They are able to create social relationships and bonds, meet new friends, learn new things. And those what our kids need, especially in this era of electronics. Children these days are more gadget oriented than we ever were. I remember I used to have my Nintendo, but it had the trackpad and I would play Duck Hunt on it, but I was getting exercise. These kids get no exercise sitting in front of a TV screen, playing a game, on a tablet, on a cell phone. So we used to be out and you had to beat us to come in. When that street light came on, you was running, but you were so anxious to stay outside. These children are totally opposite. They want to be in the house. They have no social skills. They lack the knowledge and skills on how to keep friendships, how to maintain or build friendships. So participating in these structured activities, whether it be through a club, whether it be through the neighborhood recreation center, will definitely help your child in so many ways. So that's one thing that I definitely recommend. If you can find an activity that interests your child, then please sign them up, because it will ultimately help you keep your peace and give that child something to do. Also, I know with both of my kids, I have structured set times that I spend with them, where I'll spend one day or a couple of hours with this child and a couple of hours separately, because a lot of times kids kind of get lost, like they're the younger sibling, the older, the middle child, and they are kind of vying and fighting for our attention. And to kids, they don't know that, or they believe that bad behavior, hey, mom's gonna show up to my school, dad's gonna pay me some attention. Even though it's negative attention, it's still attention. So the more I started spending time with my child, especially my son, who I'm not ashamed to say has a mental health disorder, is at an alternative school, and he just turns from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde like that. So I had to find creative ways to channel his anger. And part of that was spending more time with him than my 13-year-old, where she's at that age that, I don't want to hang with my mom. Why do you want to do this? She won't want to take pictures. So it kind of freed up my time a little bit. But I learned that spending time with him, I really got to know what he likes. I really got to understand why he's angry, why some of the things that he's doing, why he's doing them. So I really, really suggest that. Even if you have one child and you do it, just like I have my kids, we have no gadgets, there are no phones, there's no TV, there's just us. And we sit and do activities, we may draw. My son likes to dance, and so he'll have me in there doing dance moves with him. But again, it's what is interesting to him. Even though I'm old and can't nay and whip and all these Dougies and all these dances that these kids are doing, I find myself just enjoying it because he's teaching me. And so in essence, he's getting that attention that he's seeking. So that's something that I would suggest and recommend to moms that are out there that are having children that are struggling, emotionally, and just are going through. That is one thing that has really helped in easing his anger, decreasing his anger, and helping him to kind of regulate his mood, is really spending that quality time with him. So also, I would suggest that you allow your child to speak their mind respectfully, but speak their mind. I had to learn this really, really hard and tough because my 13-year-old daughter has no filter. Woo! So I had to sit and really listen to the things that she was saying. And some of the things that she was saying I did not like. They really hurt. They stung. But again, those are her feelings. And I think a lot of times we put to the side that these kids are human beings. They have feelings. They hurt. They cry. They bleed just like we do. And we sometimes forget that. I know I grew up in an era of be seen and not heard. That you didn't talk back. You didn't say what was on your mind. You better not have, or there were consequences. And so in these day and times, I've learned just through education alone and experience that I have to allow my child to speak and say what's going on. Why is she feeling that way? Why does she have an attitude? Why does she feel that she can then say? So we set out an expectation sheet of when she has something to say, that how it has to be portrayed, because we also have to think our children's minds are developing, and so we assume that they know stuff that they really don't. So if you don't lay out the expectation for them, they will never know. So we assume they don't know, and all that does is create friction. So if you set out expectations to say, hey, you can address and talk to me about anything, but it has to be in these parameters. It has to be respectfully stated. Like, I don't allow this new craze of these kids calling people bruh. You're not going to call me bruh. I'm your mother. And I'm not a dude at the end of the day. So I don't allow certain things, but she understands. And she's able to get her point across. She's able to tell me that, hey, Mom, I don't like when you do this. Like, I don't like, why did you say this to me? And honestly, it's challenged me. Even down to my 9-year-old. He asked me to not curse. And that's a hard thing for me. I will take that on the chin. That's a hard thing for me. But I understand that messes with his mind, that plays with his psyche, that he feels some type of way when I do that. So he will say that. And we did a challenge, I think a year or two ago, that anytime I cussed, I had to put money into a swear bucket, and they got the money. All I can say is they got rich, because it was a habit of mine. It was something that I was just used to doing and wasn't realizing how it affected my kids. But through that conversation that I had with my children, I was able to see that, wow, my words do affect. And I know we grew up on the sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. But they actually do. Because if your mate cursed at you or called you a bitch, you be ready to go to blows. So I had to look at that in hindsight. Not that I call my daughter a bitch, but if I say shut the F up or sit your ASS down, that hurts their feelings. So in having that conversation, I learned something about myself that I needed to change in order to have a better relationship with my children. And at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal. So I know that throughout this journey, it's going to be a struggle. You're going to hear some things that you don't want to hear. The kids are going to say some things that you never thought they would say. But getting to that is going to allow y'all to heal, to mend, and to rebuild relationships that may have been in a rift, may have been strained. So these are just some tips that I have personally used in my life and continue to use that even before this video, my daughter was like, are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about how to communicate with your daughter and this, that? And I said, well, hey, we'll do a video together so that parents can see that this is coming from a teenager. And a lot of our children feel this way, but they don't feel that they can talk to us. And I don't want that to continue to be the situation in my family. I want the cycle to be broken. I'm not going to be my daughter's best friend, but I do want to be her friend, where she can come and talk to me about anything, especially with so much going on in the world and so many of our young girls' self-esteem not being developed. Their sense of self, their worth, their value is being depreciated because we're not investing in them. And I started to look at that my children are my investment. Like, we dress our kids up and everything like that, but what are we instilling and depositing them into them internally? So that's why I created this channel. So I hope that these suggestions can help and touch somebody. Again, please subscribe. Please comment below on any topics that you want to discuss, any questions, anything that you have a question about as a mom. Because again, we're all here to help each other, and don't feel ashamed, because I have no filter in saying what I've been through. And that's what you're going to see on this motherhood journey. So thank you for tuning in. Please, again, like and subscribe, and look out for the next video next Monday. Thank you. Bye-bye.